everyone, and welcome to my tutorial on null layouts in Tatiana Volk's Intro to Programming class at North Hennepin Community College. So today I'm going to show you the basics of the null layout and how to use it, why you may want to use this over a different type of layout, and why you may not want to use this over a different type of layout. So I created a example JCreator workspace project here. Basically just import your normal stuff. You don't have to import the events for this example because I didn't add any events to the buttons, but I did add some buttons. They don't do anything obviously, but so first thing you want to do is you want to just create your buttons right here. So you're making two new J buttons. I just called them button 1 and button 2. And just so you know, this right here is the same exact thing as going like this. Like, these two are the same. As you can see, this takes up less space, so it's up to you, but they have to be the same. You know, everything, has to be a J button that follows after it. You just separate it by a comma. So there you go. In your initialization method, you're going to decide which layout you're doing. Null layouts are a little bit different when it comes to how it's made. You put this dot set layout, and then for the parameters you just put null. What this says is that for this JApplet, we're not going to use a layout. So layout, is kind of defined. So if you look at the JCreator, for example, it has a layout. In your main part up here, you're going to have your all your code. On the top, you're going to have your your action bars, and then your kind of quick buttons. On the left, you have file view, package view, and general output. So I'm sure whenever they program this, they have different layout here, and they say, okay, this needs to go over to package view, this needs to go to file view. So no matter where I move this file view, if I move it over to the right, all the stuff goes with it. Okay, so, and that's a nice way to kind of change anything. So for a null layout, we're not going to use a layout. So we're going to tell everything that we put specifically where it needs to go. So as you can see, after I created the layout, I have my two buttons here. So I put button 1 is equal to a new J button, and I put text in it called button 1. And then I do this dot add button 1, just adds button 1 to this JApplet. Then what you have to do is you have to set the bounds for the button. So what set bounds is it's going to be like this. So you can have button dot set bounds. So whatever your button name is, dot set bounds. You can have your X position, your Y position, and then you're going to have your width, and then your height. So they're all ints, obviously. So as you can see, the first one is 50. So my X position, 0 is up at the top left. It's going to go over 50, and then my Y position is 50, so it's going to go down 50, and then my width from that point is going to go is the width of the button. So you're going to go over 100. So you're going to have this, and you're going to have a height of 20. So like that. So you're going to have a nice little box. So let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. So as you can see, button 1 is down over 50, down 50, and then goes over 100, and then down 20. So it's a small button, but it's decently long to fit our button 1 text in there. Button 2, as you can see over in the code here, is over 100, down 100. So as you can see, 50 here, 100 there, and then it goes over 100 and then down 100. So you can kind of take a look and see what's going on there. It's a lot bigger. It's a square. You can do this now. What I said in the beginning is why would you ever want to use a different layout than null layout? Let's see, when you use any other layout in your resize, your buttons resize with it. So your buttons are kind of constant in comparison to your JApplet. So they're dynamic. They're always flowing with your applet. No matter what you change it will adjust your buttons there. So let's say if your applet is resizable and your user accidentally goes to click something and then moves this over a little bit, well, it's going to be nice and it's not going to mess with them too much and they won't have any conflicts. Well, in a null layout, you're going to have, as you can see, everything's static. So no matter what I change my applet size to, my button 1 is always going to be 50 pixels to the right and 50 pixels down, and it's always going to be 100 pixels to the right and 20 pixels down when it comes to the button size. So, you know, you kind of take that into perspective on, you know, what type of app am I creating, yada yada yada. I'm not sure. I'm sure there is some techie way to do it, but you can probably resize your or make it so you can't resize the applet. But I know inside of a web browser you can't resize it, so you know it wouldn't matter if we were implementing it into a website. So just take that. I like NullLayout a lot more just because I can put exactly where I want my buttons. And I made this tutorial because I could not find for the life of me inside the book NullLayout section. So like I said, I like it, but it may not be for everybody, and I believe it's a lot more real numbers. As you're putting in all these 4 digits here, and let's say you changed a little thing, you took out a button or whatever, you're going to have to reposition all your buttons essentially to kind of accommodate for, you know, taking out a button if you want to make it look aesthetically pleasing, which is very important when you're creating any type of program, because you want your user to come back and use your program multiple times. So, alright, well that is my tutorial on NullLayout. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, feel free to ask questions either in YouTube or in the D2L discussion board.